So I think growing up, I sort of had like a complicated relationship with my body, sort of like hitting puberty early and sort of not knowing how to like grow in my own skin. And as an adolescent, I had a lot of issues with my body and sort of run of the mill like uncomfortableness of who I was in my own skin. And now as more of an adult, I feel more comfortable knowing that like this is my body and I live in it, and like I should love it and I should care for it rather than disliking it for some reasons that I can't change necessarily. So I've sort of become more comfortable in my skin as I've gotten older, just because I don't know, I owe it to my body to love it and take care of it, and I only get one, so you know what I mean?
Well, so this experience that you're going to talk about, when was it?
It was around when I was like just started college.
Okay.
It was like, I think it was like the summer before I started college.
So, like, what did it feel like to be in your body at that point in your life?
I think I was uncomfortable because I was sort of I was gonna start like a very new thing and go down sort of a new path, and I was gonna meet all these people who didn't know me necessarily, and so I sort of felt self-conscious about it, because I thought I needed to like look a certain way or fit in a certain way, and I think once I started working on the farm, I worked on an organic vegetable farm for a couple summers in a row, and I was a farm hand, and I took care of vegetables and weeded the fields and watered plants. And I think working there sort of made me feel more in tune with my body, and I would sort of feel like every ache and every pain in it, and I realized that my body could do so many things, and um, sort of taking care of these vegetables from little tiny seeds and putting them like very tenderly into their little seed pot, like seed, I don't know what they're called, little seed cells, and having to poke like a very specific like distance down in the dirt with my pinky to make sure that you didn't get too covered up, and then sort of watching them mature in the greenhouse, and then letting them go out and bask in the hot summer sun in all their glory. It was really awesome, and it made me sort of think about like these plants, they sort of have their own life cycle and they sort of understand what they do in a way, like they have a purpose, and it's sort of very linear, your seed to tomato, and then you sort of the vine sort of shrivels up and dies, and then it sort of made me start thinking about like my own existence in a way, like with plants I feel like you can sort of see it and understand it, but we sort of can't understand ourselves outside of our bodies and our own sort of physical and emotional experience. So sort of grounding in a way, to be like, I'm here and I don't know what stage I'm in. I don't know if I'm a little green tomato or a big fat red tomato, but I think working in nature was sort of a very grounding experience, and it sort of made me appreciate sort of the things that you don't get to appreciate in sort of the age where you go to the grocery store and things are off the vine and just out of context. I think working there sort of made me contextualize sort of me and my body and what I'm doing on this earth, So.
Yeah, did it make you feel, I don't know, like your body is part of nature? Like,
yeah, I definitely felt like, and even now not having, like, not really able to grow my own food or sort of be able to play with dirt in a way, I feel very disconnected, and this winter has been really long, and I've been sort of longing for the sun and longing to just like smell like all these like the like that like I want to smell the thaw, you know what I mean? So I'm very excited for spring. Angle of like messiness of the tomatoes, kind of, I don't know, I feel like that's me.
Yeah. I feel it. Yeah.
um,
Almost like the different stages of like the fully grown,
Yeah.
like with the flowers and
Yeah.
the tomatoes.
and I think working on the farm, I felt like sort of like the vibrations of the plants, and the head farmer Jose really talked about like, intention. When you water the plants, you water them a certain way because the plants like they feel it, and in their own. I don't understand how they do, but they do in their own way, and sort of they have we have an empathy towards them, and they have their own sort of empathy towards us. So like watering them as if it's raining, they'll grow better, or watering them at their roots, they like it more, or handling melons with care, because if you even like dare to touch a melon, it'll just die because they don't they don't like being touched. So sort of like these strange quirky things about
I love that.
Yeah.
I love that. Can you relate that to
I
yourself?
don't know. Like,
it's okay if you can't.
There was a Honduran woman who told me that, like, back in where she like grew up, like, you didn't touch the melons, you know what I mean? Like, you just left them alone and like hoped they'd grow, because they would just like touch them or look at them, they would just shrivel up and die. So we had to be very careful weeding around them. Yeah, so I don't know, just seeing things from like start to finish and sort of having the fruits of your labor and like all those experiences are just like in your body now, so I sort of carry them, I guess.
Totally. Yeah.
I'm a vessel.
That's my whole project. You figured it out.
When they say the name of the show in the show, or like the title of the book in the book, that's that.
Like,
there it is. Yeah. And the best thing about like picking the vegetables like for market week or whatever is that like picking sugar snap peas, for example, if you actually broke one in half, it's just you eat it because you don't want it to go to waste. And sometimes when picking the sun-gold cherry tomatoes, it'd be like, one for them, one for me, one for them, one for me, and because you can just I
want to work where you work. It's cool.
Yeah, so yeah, just those really bright, crazy orange, just like if you took the sun and put it in a little round quarter-sized ball, that's what you got. Yeah, I love it. Yeah, I love it. I don't know why tomatoes. I would never thought like, oh, I'm a tomato, but I guess I
am. No, I think it makes total sense. Okay, another question, like, when do you feel most at home in your body?
Maybe when no one's around. When I'm just with me, I can sort of be with myself. No one's looking at it, I guess, I guess when I'm just like content and alone and in my own space, I feel most comfortable. So
me too, honestly.
Yeah. Yeah. Or I think like hiking and like being outdoors, and when like you sort of stop and there's just like all these sounds and it's like peaceful and quiet and you sort of get to like soak in that experience, I think is, I yearn for it. Yes. I want it. Totally. I miss being outside.
Soon.
Yeah. Yeah.